Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here with another video. I guess this is the third one. We put glued pieces on our cover for this scrappy fabric journal cover, traveler's notebook size. Then in the second video we sewed around the pieces, and then in this one, we are going to attach the fabric or paper to the back cover. So in the last one, I left you to cut your piece, whatever you want, paper or fabric, inside the back cover. So I'm going to, I finished the first one already. So these three I still have to finish. And see that I missed a little stitch right there on this one. So I'm trying to, that's what I'm trying to see. I mean, I already thought I got them all, and then I just saw that one. This one too, same spot right there. I missed a little stitch right there, so I'm not going to do those two right now, apparently. So this one, looks like I got everything. And I have two different fabrics here that I chose. I'm trying to see which one would look better. I think the pink one would look better with this. So this is how I'm going to do it, and that's what I'm going to show you, because I've seen it done different ways, and this is how I kind of make my journals anyway. And so this is how I like to do. I like to sew everything around the outside at one time, if you know what I mean. And that's what I'm going to show you. What I mean. So for me, this is what works. So I'm going to take a little glue and glue down my little, the fabric that we left over the edge. To go over the edge is a little, like, fold over or a hem. I'm going to just, it's going to be sewn on, but I'm going to temporarily sew it, glue it down. Okay, I'm going to cut my corners real quick here before I get going. Little angles on the corner so we don't have a lot of bulk on our corners. Okay, so just cutting my corners off on all four, so we have that out of the way. And then I put a thin, bead of glue here along the top of my file folder. I'm going to fold my fabric down here on the top, tight to my file folder, right? Okay. So this way I don't need to use pins to hold everything together. And it's just, for me it works, and it's easy. For me, it's the easiest way to do it. So now we're going to go ahead and sew, fold down our side here, but I want to kind of see the corners before I fold it down, and I want to cut off another little triangle here. After I folded, I'm going to cut another triangle right here. Okay, so then let me see how that looks. I'm going to look, I kind of like play this by ear every time I do this, like miter a corner, and to see how it looks, see if I need to cut any more off, that type of thing. So that one looks good. Let's see. This one will be done when we get down here, but I'm going to go ahead and see I have it folded over here. I think I'll go ahead and just cut this off again here, this little corner, not up to my file folder or anything, but just the tip of the corner, just to take in bulk out of that corner piece there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a bead of glue along our file folder again, and a little bit on the fabric too, that fabric that's there now. A little string here I need to cut off. And so we're going to fold that down, press it down onto our glue so the glue is holding it in place, so when we want to, when we're ready to sew, that will be held in place. And I see my fabric is not holding this time. Let me see what is happening here. Maybe I need more glue, or I might have to get my Fabri-Tac out if it doesn't want to hold for some reason. It is going over thread here, so that might be part of the problem. But let's just see here. I might need to hold it down so it can the glue can grab and dry for a second here. Okay, let's do that. Just hold it down for a second. I think I feel it grabbing now. So it just needed to grab a hold. Okay, let's see. I think it's good now. let me look at my corner here. I'm going to, it's okay, but I'm just going to cut a little kind of a, barely a little sliver off there at the corner that was sticking up right there. Okay, so now let's turn. See this little triangle right here? I'm going to cut that off. I don't need that, so it's just adding bulk to my corner there. So let's go ahead and put a bead of glue down on this, starting on the fabric that we just glued down over to the other side. I'm going to put extra on the threads that are here so that the, you know, we can glue over the threads. Okay. And just push it all down, all the way across, folding tight to our file folder. I'm going to hold it down for a second so the glue can start grabbing and drying there. This glue, you know, if you use art glitter glue, you know it starts drying really quickly, so it starts grabbing whatever you're gluing down very quickly. Okay, let's see. Yes, it looks good. Okay, let's turn. And again, another little snip here on the corner of this tip. And then I'm going to also be left with a triangle there again, so let's cut that off. And get all that out of the way. Okay. So let's see, do I need to snip any more off here? I'm going to snip a triangle off here right now, or the tip also. And then some more glue, starting on the fabric, which this time is denim. I'm going to put a little bit under there because it doesn't look like it's sticking down real good. Underneath that little piece of denim. Denim's a little thicker, you know, so it's a little harder to grab on than just regular like cotton. Okay, so this project is pretty cool because I think, you know, I like it because you don't need a lot of stuff to do it really, you know. I mean, all I have out here is my fabric, my scissors, and my sewing machine, plus my project, you know. It's pretty cool to work on these, I think, because of that. I felt like, you know, I'm not making a big mess right now. I'm just working with a few things. So, I don't know. I like don't like to make, I mean, of course I do make a mess in my craft room, but, you know, if I don't have to, it's all kind of nice. So, okay. I think this is all getting tacked down. I see a little something here I want to cut off. Let me get it from this side. Make that corner. I don't want to cut off so much that my file folder is showing, but I want that to be a nice flat corner. Okay. And this too. Let's see, the denim. See, we're going to sew over this, so it's temporary for me. If you're not sewing over it, you'll want to use Babatak or just use more glue to get everything glued down. But there we go. Let's see. Now this fabric doesn't have an up or a down, you know, so it doesn't matter which way I put it, but I kind of want to decide which way, and I think I want my cover this way. You know, I want this to be the front. So I'm going to keep it like that. Let's see, this is kind of trying to pop up here, which I know I'm going to sew it down, but I just want to, well, I'd like it to be just, okay, I think it's good. So now how I did this was just go like this, like I have it cut, you know, the way I told you, and it's at the end of the second video, basically 1/2 inch bigger all the way around than my cover. Now I'm going to turn it over, and this is where I kind of like measure to get it to fit inside the cover here. So I've got it like in, I get it into, I get it in place. Okay, see how it is here when I turn it over? You can pretty much see the 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay, get it where you want it, like this. See, your fabric top is backwards right now, and I'll show you why. Because what I'm doing is, see, this is the back of the fabric. So what I'm doing is taking my glue, and this is also temporary because we're going to sew this on, but I want to make a little hem here so that we have a finished, nice finished edge inside the journal. So I'm going to put a little bead of glue here at the top of my fabric and then fold it down to where I want it to be when it's sewn and how I want it to look. So I just want it, I want a little edge of my fabric that I folded over. So I see, I'll hold it up in a second, but I'm gluing the fabric down here. I'm making a little hem to fit just below the edge of my cover. Okay, so let me show you up close in case you can't see. It's going to be like this. See that? See the edge of my fabric there? That you can see the other fabric that's already glued from the cover, from the front of the cover, and then this is going to be like that. Okay, so now let's turn it carefully and do the side here. So we're going to do the same thing, but first, keep everything in place. But I'm going to cut my corners again here carefully. Let's turn it, or however you need to, maneuver your fabric. But I'm just cutting the corner off here because now you have 2 layers, so you really don't want your bulk there. And actually, you can go all the way around if you want at this point. And you could have done it from the beginning too if you want to do it before you glue anything down for your hem. Just don't cut too far up, as far as, too close to your journal. You just want to cut off a little tip there. And you can always cut off more as you're going around, but that's why I say I always play it by ear when I'm doing the corners. Just kind of see what's happening, what you need to cut off, right? Okay, so now we're doing this next side. Make sure your top is in place in case it moved around when you were just moving things around. Okay, so I've got my top edge. It looks all even, as far as how far it is from the top. Okay, so another bead of glue right here along this edge of the fabric. Not too much. So if you're sewing it down, it's just temporary. And I don't find this glue gets in the way of it's usually dry by the time I sew on it anyway. So I don't find that it gets in the way of my needle or anything with my sewing machine. It never has before anyway, so hopefully that trend will continue. But yeah, again, just leaving an edge here. There's some glue there. On my little cover. Okay, and that is tacked down now. So we've got a nice hem there. Turn again, make sure everything's in place. It is, it didn't move. And let's see, let's look at this corner here. See, because I have 2 layers here now, I'm going to cut again another little tip off of this corner so I don't have too thick of fabric to turn up when I'm ready to turn that up. Okay. A bead of glue along the bottom, or yeah, this is actually the bottom, so, or it is right now. Okay. Wait, let me get a little bit of my fabric here because I didn't get any over here. And this also needs to be glued down. Okay. Now we're going to turn that up, make our little hem just inside the cover again. The bottom of the cover, leaving a little space there where you can see the fabric. If you don't want to see the fabric from your cover on the inside, you can make it right up to the edge if you want. I like to see that little edge, even if it, it's a scrappy thing. It's a scrappy notebook, so, it's different colors, yes, but I like that. And if you don't want to see that fabric, though, you can certainly make it right up to the edge, I like to see that edge, though. I think it looks nice and it looks finished. Okay, now we're on the last little part here where we're going to put some glue all over the fabric there, down this, which is actually a side, I believe, here, and all the way over to the edge of the fabric. And then we're going to turn that down and make our last hem. Everything's in place. It looks Everything looks good. So I'm going to turn this down, make our last little hem here just inside the edge. Let's see, fold it down, make sure everything's where you want it. Okay. Now, you can also kind of like press with your fingers and make a crease there on that edge if you notice that it's puffing up. This one, the other ones I didn't notice that, but this side looked like it was puffing up a little as far as just not a crease there. So I made a crease with my fingers. You know, if I wouldn't iron it. I don't know what that would do to the glue. So I wouldn't iron it. Okay, so pick it up before it gets glued down in case I just felt like my glue was starting to go through the fabric too. So, and then, okay, so you just turn it over. You've got it all glued down. If you feel like you need more glue here, you can put more glue, but it's not really necessary because I'm sewing this down. So turn it over. Let's see now. Get it in the right. See, I think I turned it. Yeah, I had turned it. So get it in the right position where, you know, really you just need to turn it over and not, I think I turned it. So you can see I got it in position. You see all of my edges. See, here's the top edge. Here's the sides. You see how you see all my edges. And I'll adjust this when I put it back down, but I wanted you to see that you can just barely see a little bit in between where I made my hem for this inside fabric and the outside fabric. That's what I like, that little edge. Okay, let me get this back in position. Okay, so this is the front, and I've got, you know, my focal point with the butterfly there. Okay. I said I missed a stitch on this one, but I think no, I didn't miss a stitch on this one. Okay, that was the other one. Never mind, I saw something that I didn't see there. Okay. Alrighty, so get it in place. Get it in place, and then we are going to sew this around, and hopefully, I don't think I've taken up all my time with that. So let's get now on the outside edge, I said I liked the bigger zigzag on this machine. So that's what I just turned it to, the biggest zigzag on here. And I adjusted it earlier so that I get zigzag and made sure everything was working correctly. So I get zigzag on both sides. So all we have to do is get started here with our sewing. I've got black thread in there, and we are ready to go, ready to roll. So we are going to get started. Let me turn my machine on. That would be good. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, I always start with a little anchor stitch, so I kind of just start. Ooh, go backwards a little bit, so I have, you know, a little anchor there, and then just go for it. And I'm just sewing right on the edge of that fabric, on that hem. I don't go over into that edge. I try not to. I mean, you can, but I like it like this. I think we're doing all right. Okay, let me go back like 2 here. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to turn and go down. I believe that was the side, so you can adjust a little bit at this point because you really do just have one side, but you don't want any wrinkles, so be careful about moving the fabric around at this point because you could cause wrinkles. Just you want to, you know, you can make sure everything's smooth, pull it kind of tight, and just make sure everything's in the right place, and then just go for it, you know. Don't worry, you'll be all right. It'll turn out good. All right, we're going to turn. Let me go down one more here and turn. Go down this side. Let's see. anchor your end. And there we go. Okay, let's cut it off and see how it looks. Got my thread going through there. Let me pull it, push this back, and just cut my threads off. I want to see how this looks. Okay, so there we go. Fold it and see how it looks, see how you like it. It looks good. Now there's two ways to do this, do that. That was one way, and I like it. I like it. So let me show you what I did different on this one, because I like it both ways. You know, so it depends on what you like, on what you do. But let me find my other one here. So let me show you what the difference between the inside of this. This one here, I put some glue under the fabric. Like before I sewed it down, you saw what I did. Made the hem, turned it over, sewed it down. This one I did the same thing, but this one I put glue under this fabric. So this is glued down, okay? I don't know if you can see the difference but you can see, you can kind of see the difference, but not a whole lot, you know. And I tried to get it where there's no wrinkles. Like by the time you fold this like this, it's just, you know, it's a little different because it's not glued down. So just whatever you like in here. If you like it glued down, maybe you want a flatter look. It's not like wrinkled or anything, it's just not glued down. And this one, you can see, can you see how that looks? It's like not wrinkled, but it's not perfectly flat. It's just the way it is, like, because there's thread under there for one thing. Like right here, it looks almost like there's a wrinkle there, but that is thread right there. Here's the middle. There's actually some thread right here. So there's not really, this is flat as it will go over thread. So you're covering up your threads, but you can't expect it to be perfectly flat because there is thread under there. So, you know, it is what it is, you know, at this point. And so maybe, you know, maybe you don't want to see your thread. You can't really see it, but you know it's there. You know what that is. You know it's your thread. You can feel it. Here, maybe you don't want to glue it down because here you can't see the threads. You know they're there and you could feel them if you want to, but you know, you don't see that as much. But it's not, I don't know, it's just, you have to try it to see which one you like best. Maybe you want to try both of them like I did. And to tell you the truth, I like both of them. So either or, whatever, you know. This one, it has the zigzag. You can see how it turned out. I do like that better because I did it all together on the outside. This one, I sewed the hem first, and then I was like, why did I do that? I should have sewn it all at one time. So I had to put another in here. I put a straight stitch because I didn't want 2 layers of zigzag here on the outside by the time I got done. So I did the zigzag and then the straight stitch. So you see the straight stitch out here, and there it is inside. So anyway, by the time you get all your pages in there, you pretty much don't even, you know, it's all just wonderful by the time you get your pages and your embellishments in there, and it's just awesome, right? And so like this one, I mean, it's up to you as far as what you do from here. Put your pages in, and I can keep on doing videos on how I put my pages in and embellish this and stuff, and I probably will do that. But at this point, you know, if you know how to make a traveler's notebook and a journal, you know what to do from here. But I was going to say, like this one, I did this on purpose. I put this flower and butterfly here so I would have kind of a focal point. On this one, this was the first one, and I didn't think about that. And I like it just the way it is. But you could add something here as a focal point, and this could be your background. So, yeah, I think they're really fun and cool to make, and that, you know, if you want to try it, that you should definitely give it a try. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting!